Hello?
Hey, Danshu, how you doing?
I'm great. How are you doing?
I'm doing very, very well, man. It's great to have you. I just told the people who I'm going to be interviewing. Are you ready? Should we get straight up into it?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. So, firstly, I want to ask you. I find it fascinating that you sing and rap in isiZulu. How did that even come about?
I've always had a love for the Zulu language. I don't speak it fluently. I wish I did, but um, yeah, I have a knack for the language, and I think it's such a storytelling language. I've said this from the beginning, and I just yeah, it's one of the ways that I enjoy learning Zulu as well, and just trying to be a part of the culture by trying to learn it.
All right. All right. So, with regards to languages, actually, so do you think Zulu is actually the easiest language to learn out of all other languages that we have traditionally?
I've never tried to learn any other language. Yeah, I've always just had a thing for Zulu.
All right, makes sense. Definitely makes sense. All right. So on this single, you have collaborated with anyone, but you chose. You could have collaborated with anyone, but you chose Mickey Monag. Why her specifically?
Mickey was introduced me by my producer Vuga, and they worked together on a couple tracks. And I said to him I was looking for someone to help me to write the Zulu parts of the song, and he suggested Mickey. And from the moment I met her, like we wrote the song in a couple hours, and it was finished by the end of the day. And she's just a very talented artist, in my opinion. She's a great vocalist as well, and she's very talented when it comes to creating melodies and yeah, rhymes.
All right, nice. So I want to know how were the studio sessions working on this single? Did you guys just have like one studio session and recorded the song and that was it, or maybe you took maybe 2 days, you worked on it, left it unfinished, and then went on to finish it the next day?
In terms of the whole concept of the song, we finished it in one day. But then Mickey added a second rap part a couple months later, and then the mix is what took the longest. Like, I think we made this song about a year and a half ago, and we've just been working through different mixes, and this is one of the songs that the mix was just never right for me. I don't think we got it 100% right, but I feel like you also can't be a total perfectionist if you also want to get the ball rolling. So um, yeah, for me the song is I'm extremely proud of it. I'm really happy with the outcome of it. And it makes me very hopeful for the future. If that's what my first track, kind of like Zulu track with rapping and kind of trap hip hop sounds like, then I'm excited for in 5 years' time what what can come out of the process.
Most definitely. That's actually very, very lovely, man. I wish you the best with your latest single. But I want to know, how would you want your listeners to receive this single, in terms of explaining to us what the song is actually about, the concept of the song. How would you want your listeners to receive the song?
When I wrote the song, it was like I had this really deep yearning to meet someone that I'd never met before, and I missed them. Like I had known them forever, but I missed them so deeply, and I kept praying to God for this person because I didn't have a person in my life, and I was just like, when are they going to eventually arrive? Because I felt like I had known them, like my soul had known them. And then I eventually met the person, and I couldn't be happier. But when I got into studio, I still wanted to write that song of when I was feeling those emotions initially. And that's where imagination came from. Like Kadeu Kujima Kabangeniwam. Like you've been running in my mind. Like it keeps asking like, where are you, my soulmate? Sogalam. Um, that's the kind of message of the song. It's like, where are you? I'm yearning for you. I'm lusting for you. That kind of thing.
Hmm. That's actually very beautiful, man. That's actually very beautiful. Sometimes it's actually better to hear how the artist explains the song, because sometimes we as people can conclude on our own conclusions, of which we are wrong at most of the times. How often do you get that where people misinterpret your lyrics?
I don't think it could be described as a misinterpretation just because music is, subjective. I think that we see reality not how it is, just how we are. And so if you hear lyrics differently to what I intended them to be, that's not necessarily wrong. I just think that's your perception of something. The same way that I don't expect everybody to like my music or like me. I don't give a fuck. Excuse me, I just swore on radio. But it's actual facts. Like I don't care. I just want to make music. I want to collaborate with artists who like my work and likewise. And yeah, I think that music is subjective. That's the end of that answer.
I definitely makes sense. Hey, and that was a lot of violence there. That was definitely a lot of violence there. So before we actually finish, will there be a listening session or a single launch for Imagination?
No, sir. Tell me, what were your thoughts on the song when you heard it?
All right. So before the interview, I was before I came to the station. I actually listened to the song because I was going to interview you. So I listened to it. I'm like, damn, this definitely needs to be on air. That's why I actually asked you like the context behind the song. Because I wanted to understand exactly what you were trying to say. But other than everything, it's a very lovely song, and I definitely will add it on one of my playlists. I love it.
Thanks, bro. I really appreciate it. And thanks for having me. I appreciate the time.
All right, nah, man, it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. So, before we actually finish this off, what's next for you? Should we expect an EP, an album? What? And please share with us your social media handles.
Social media handles is the real Dan Shaw. And in terms of the future, I'm just going to keep releasing singles. I think that it's silly for people who haven't really gotten off the ground yet to release an entire album or even an EP because you need as much traction on every song as you can get. And if you release an album, there's likely going to be a lot of your work that's missed. Even artists as big as Nasty C, I only listened to his album recently, but I've heard singles of his. So it's not often, I mean, we have short attention spans. So I'm just going to carry on releasing singles, and then maybe in a year and a bit, I'll start pushing and putting budget behind 2 or 3 songs that I think that have legs to stand on. They haven't been finished yet. I'm actually going to Joburg on Sunday for a week to finish the songs. But yeah, there's a song called "The Road to Hell," and that for me is like just pop completely. I think that radio will take well to it. So yeah, that's my strategy.
All right, thank you very much, Dansho. Thank you very much for actually making time to speak with us today.
Of course. Thanks for having me.